But if you are a pom-pom proficient aficionado, then basically I need your help. A collective of artists is asking for help in making 100 metres worth of pom-poms. Jenny Ayrton and Kat Andrews are two of the artists from Plymouth. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Morning.
Lovely to have you on the show. There's a lot of wool in front of you both.
There is.
There is a lot of wool. Now, what have we got going on here? Start with you, Jenny. What on earth is happening? Why are we trying to make pom-poms, the three of us today?
So, we were at COP26 up in Glasgow a couple of years ago now, in the beautiful Botanic Gardens, and many of your listeners might have joined in with our previous project, Moths to a Flame, and we were taking a message of hope up to those world leaders and decision makers, and we spent We spent 3 weeks in the beautiful Botanic Gardens in Glasgow, surrounded by the most amazing plants from all over the world. But the plants that really caught our attention, and I think it was probably because we were in the city centre and we were missing our lovely green mossy Devon, were the mosses. And when we started looking at mosses and realised how amazing they are. So I don't know if you know this, but mosses were some of the very first plants that came out of the ocean and photosynthesised to make our planet habitable, even way back before the dinosaurs. So we're talking 650 million years. And so we got inspired by mosses. They do amazing things for our planet in all sorts of different ways, and for the world in which we live. So where we've been having our heavy rains, those sphagnum mosses up on Dartmoor in particular have been soaking up loads of the rainwater and reducing the risk of flooding down in our towns and our cities by soaking up that water. And they also soak up lots of carbon dioxide and pollutants and so on. We got inspired by mosses, and so we wanted to translate that into an artwork that thousands of people could get involved with. And so we're creating a thing called the Mossy Carpet.
It's glorious. It's by my sides. Kat, can you describe this mossy carpet for me? What are we looking at here on the right in the studio?
Well, the mossy carpet, if you can think of a long red carpet, but it's actually, the base is all wool. It's wool from Dartmoor sheep. And then sewn on are patches of lots and lots of pom-poms, but we've also got a bit of embroidery, a bit of crochet, a bit of knitting, a bit of felting, and all these individual pieces created by hundreds, maybe thousands of people, have all been sewn onto this lovely Dartmoor wool backing. We've got a whole roll of it, which we've unrolled in your studio today.
This is just a little bit, though. There's more.
There is more. So how long is it at the moment? How long's the carpet now?
So we've got about 20 metres of carpet, which is finished, and then probably another 5 metres, which is underway with patches for people to add to. But over the next 9 months or so, we're aiming for 50 metres of carpet, and then that's hopefully going to continue so that in 2025 we'll have 100 metres of that carpet.
And what's the hope with the carpet? Where are you going to put this?
So, as an artwork, we're hoping to exhibit it at iconic locations. So in the summer 2024, we're going to be holding an event and inviting people to come and walk along the carpet. So shoes off, socks on, and walk along a bit like, as Kat says, a red carpet. And it's all about celebrating those small actions, those small moss-like actions that we're taking for our climate, for our environment.
In front of both Kat and Jenny is wool. I presumed it would all be green because of moss, but you've gone off track, and I like it. Mm-hmm. It's fine. We've got multicoloured wool here: green wool, purple, blue, bright orange, all different textures, all different shapes as well. Describe to me what a pom-pom is, what it looks like. Go for it, Kat.
Well, so pom-poms, when you think of a pom-pom, maybe when you were at Brownies, you might have been using 2 bits of card and going for a really round pom-pom ball. But our pom-poms don't need to be that perfect. We tend to use our hands or a bit of plastic. We're making like a flat pom-pom, really, because we want to sew them onto the carpet, and we want people to be able to walk on the mossy carpet. So our pom-poms are either around your fingers or around a piece of just recycled plastic, and they make a sort of a flat a flat pom-pom, and any age, any ability can make our pom-poms. They're really simple, and we really encourage you to use that bit of wool that you've got at home already. We don't want you to go out and buy anything new. Just use your wool scraps. Go to the scrap store in Plymouth or another scrap store, or see what your friend's got in their sewing bag, knitting bag, and just reuse those scraps up. And yeah, as you say, use any colour, any texture, whatever you've got.
I wonder what just hit my foot under the table, but it's about 5 metres of wool just flown past me and hit me in the foot. That'll be it then. So actually really super easy to make with a really important message as well. Lots of fun, and you can do this because it's not knitting, is it? So me can't knit for toffee, but I reckon I could wrap some wool around a bit of card. I reckon I could give that a go there. What are you doing, Jenny? What have you just done?
So I've got a piece of, it's actually a piece of plastic from an old folder that we picked up at Plymouth Scrap Store, just a rectangle, and I've wrapped around a nice kind of plump amount of wool around that. Again, the wool has all come from Plymouth Scrap Store, and wrapped it around, tied a knot around one section of it, and then snipped it on the opposite side, and I've ended up with a lovely tufty, in this case it is green, pom-pom. One of the reasons that we were keen to use different colours was to represent how we are all different, and we all have our unique things and actions that we're taking for the planet. So when we look at a patch of moss, for example, you might think, oh, it's all moss, but actually if you are able to pick up a magnifying glass and have a look closely, or even just with your own eyes or with an iPhone or a phone device, then you're able to see that patch of moss will most likely have lots of different species, and they're all working in different ways, and depending on the conditions they'll thrive, or they might dry back at different times, and then when it rains it all comes up beautiful and lush and green. And so that's what the many colours is all about. So as people are making, we're inviting them and encouraging them. You can do it on your own, or you can do it as your family, or with your community group, or at school, or at work, or at Brownies or Guides. And the idea is that hopefully by making around a table, generally the first pom-pom we make, we're focusing on the pom-pom or the knitting, or the embroidery. But as we're making, we then start to share the small actions we're taking for the planet, and how we're making those doable, because it can feel really overwhelming and like we can't really make a difference, but we can by doing small actions, and then we're inviting people to tell the tardigrade. So tardigrades are tiny little creatures that live in the moss, and we've got a tardigrade telephone here, so we'll invite you in a little bit, Caroline, to record a message for the tardigrade. Tell the tardigrade about something you're doing, small action, as I say, for the planet, and then those will be played back through the artwork, so that hopefully when you interact with it, you hear things you're already doing and you realise, oh, that's fantastic, I'll keep doing that. Or maybe you hear something new that you'd like to adopt.
How can people take part? So if you're listening to this and you're like, I've got some wool, I could definitely take part in this, how do they get in touch with you, and where do they send their pom-pommy mossy bits?
Sure. So best place is our website, which is artandenergy.org. We've got a whole page there which is all about the Mossy Carpet, and you can find out a bit more there about all the reasons behind the project. We've got a postal address in Exeter that you can post your pom-poms to, but Jenny and I are in Plymouth, and when we're at events you can bring your pom-poms along to that. Save them up. This is a long project, so if you make them now, you don't need to post them to us before Christmas, save them up. And you'll also find the telephone number, so the tardigrade's got its own mobile phone number, so you can phone that and leave a message there with your tiny action. But artandenergy.org, our website, is the best start.
artandenergy.org. We'll take a photo of said ginormous carpet after, and we'll put that up on our socials as well. Both of you, thank you so much for coming in and bringing us your art and all the work you're doing with your project as well. It's been really lovely to meet you. I'm going to record a message, and we'll record it while I play T-Rex, and we'll find out what it sounds like in just a sec.